third grade ELA text set 6, genre study, expository nonfiction. The read aloud goal for today is to notice how the text is organized, comparison, and contrast. If you could visit any spot on Earth, where would you go? What if you wanted to see some of the most amazing natural wonders in the world? There are deserts that haven't seen rain for hundreds of years, and jungles where it pours almost every day. There are places so cold that even in the summer it's below freezing, and spots where it's often hot enough to cook an egg on the ground. There are mountains many miles high and ocean trenches that are even deeper. You can find rivers thousands of miles long and waterfalls thousands of feet high. Where are the very hottest and coldest, windiest and snowiest, highest and deepest places on Earth? Travel the world and visit the planet's record holders. Can you imagine what it's like to be in a place where it's hot enough to cook on an egg or on the ground, or where it hasn't rained for years? So if you could visit any spot on Earth, where would you go? Which of the places I just read about do you want to learn about the most? Today I'm going to read you the book Hottest, Coldest, Highest, Deepest by Steen Jenkins. The Nile in Africa is the longest river in the world. It is 4,145 miles long. The Amazon River in South America is not as long, 4,007 miles, but it is considered mightier because it carries half of all the river water in the world. The Xinjiang in Asia, 3,964 miles, and the Mississippi, Missouri in the United States, 3,710 miles, are the world's third and fourth longest rivers. And you can see here that has a map too. And it shows us. So the worlds have the same information as the diagram, but the diagram also shows the width of the United States. How does this diagram help you understand how long the Nile is? So look, the width compared to the Mississippi. How does it help us? Lake Baikal in Russia is the world's oldest and deepest lake. The lake was formed about 25 million years ago, and one spot is 5,134 feet deep. The largest freshwater lake in the world is Lake Superior, one of the Great Lakes in North America, 31,700 square miles. But Lake Baikal, 5,500 square miles, contains more water than any other lake on Earth, more than all 5 Great Lakes combined. And then it shows us. And then the depths. Mount Everest, the highest mountain in the world, it peaks is 29,028 feet above sea level. The highest mountain in North America is Mount McKinley, also called Denali in Alaska, at 20,320 feet. Mount Whitney in California is the highest peak in the continental United States. Its summit is 14,491 feet above sea level. So we've seen the Empire State Building in 3 diagrams so far. How does showing it each time help you compare the information about Lake Baikal, Mount Everest, and Mount Mauna Kea? So there's the Empire State Building. There's Mount Whitney, Denali, and Mount Everest. Mount Everest is considered the highest mountain above sea level in the world, but is not really the tallest. Measured from its base on the floor of the ocean, Mauna Kea is in Hawaii is 33,476 feet tall. Only the top 13,796 feet of Mauna Kea are above sea level. So again, Empire State Building, 1,250 feet. Mauna Kea. Mount Everest rises from a plateau that is already 17,000 feet above sea level, so one would have to climb only about 12,000 feet to reach its summit. Mount McKinley in Alaska is almost 20,000 feet from base to summit. The hottest spot on the planet is Al-Azhar, Libya in the Sahara, where a temperature is over 136 degrees Fahrenheit has been recorded. The hottest temperature ever recorded in the United States is 134.6 degrees Fahrenheit in Death Valley, California. The coldest place on the planet is Antarctica. A temperature of 129 degrees below zero was recorded there. It is so cold at the South Pole that the average summer temperature is negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit. The coldest temperature ever recorded in the United States is negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit at Prospect Creek Camp, Alaska. The wettest place on Earth is Tunito, Colombia, where an average of 463 inches of rain falls every year. Mount Waliwala on the island of Kauai in Hawaii has the most rainy days, 350 a year, on the island of La Reunion in the Indian Ocean. More than 61 inches of rain fell in a single day. The driest place is in the Atacama Desert in Chile, where no rain has fallen for the last 400 years. Any place that receives less than 10 inches of precipitation a year is considered a desert. The driest place in the United States is Death Valley, California, where only about 1.5 inches of rain falls every year. So it hasn't rained in the Atacama Desert in 400 years. What do you think of that? The windiest spot on Earth is the top Mount Washington in New Hampshire. A wind speed of 231 miles per hour has been recorded there. It is also very windy near the tops of the world's highest mountains, the Himalayas. Many of these peaks are tall enough to reach the jet stream, a narrow, strong air current that is found above 28,000 feet. The world's highest waterfall is Angel Falls in Venezuela. It is 3,212 feet high. Angel Falls is more than 17 times higher than Niagara Falls, 180 feet, in New York State. Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe, Africa, carries more water than any other waterfall. It is 355 feet high. So this diagram is not comparing the heights of the different volcanoes. What a beautiful waterfall. The deepest spot in the ocean is the Marianas Trench in the Philippines. It is 36,202 feet deep. The average depth of the world's oceans is about 3 miles or 16,000 feet. The lowest spot on dry land is the shore of the Dead Sea, 1,100 feet below sea level. The world's most active volcano is Sangay in Ecuador. Since 1937, it has erupted once every 24 hours on average. It once erupted more than 400 times in a single day. Other very active volcanoes include Colima in Mexico. It has erupted regularly since 1560. Also in Japan, erupting since 533, and Mount Etna in Italy, erupting regularly since 15,000 BC. So this diagram is not comparing the height of the different volcanoes. If you look at the labels, you can see it is comparing the number of years between eruptions. So Sangay is 60 years, Colima 497 years, also 100,460 years, and Etna 3,500 years. It says, how long have these volcanoes been erupting? The most extreme tides occur in the Bay of Fundy in Nova Scotia, Canada. There the water level rises and falls more than 50 feet every 6 hours. The tide has come in so fast that it can overtake a person trying to outrun it. So the word tide means the rise and fall in the level of the water on a seashore. Tides usually happen twice a day. The snowiest place on earth is Mount Rainier in Washington State. One year, more than 1,200 inches of snow fell there. Mount Rainier is covered in snow the whole year. Some of the snow has formed glaciers, masses of ice that slowly move down the mountain under their own weight. And then these are all the places that have all these different things.